What's up? It's okay, it's me. I'm here. I wouldn't say I contemplated not doing this podcast. I have a lot of things going for me today, but we make time to do things anyway. And I think that's extremely beneficial and all that good stuff. My dog is kissing her foot. Hopefully that doesn't come out. I'm about to kick her out right now. Let me see. Oh, touch yourself. Oh, fuck. Okay, go ahead. I'll plug Phil. Sorry. Yeah, I think she blistered herself open either on the walk or having her cone off right now. She's not even licking that right now. I don't know what's wrong with her. I will tend to her soon, but she is making a lot of noise. So, what are we going to talk about today? I don't have coffee right now. The whole house is still sleeping. Last Formula One race is in a couple of minutes. I love that I can actually pause it and get to it when I need to. I'll get to that soon. I cooked, or one of many steps, a roulade. I don't know what it's really called, but yeah. So I think you could do it with almost any meat, but you essentially carve off the whole skin, the whole flesh, most of the meat off the bone. In this case, it was the turkey goulash. Ooh. She doesn't listen very well. She may be back over here soon. Um, I love that dog. She is the goat. That's what I call her. Actually, she's actually on my website. Um, if you go to First Love, it is her right there. A lot younger. I would say she was about 2, 3 years old at that time. And yeah, I got her after my dad passed away. And I just agreed to it. And I didn't know anything. I was, grieving and all that good stuff. And she was there. And she really started taking a liking to me. I wouldn't say it was instant. I think she was still trying to figure out her way in the house. Here she comes again. Damn dog. But eventually we were like inseparable. We still are. She sleeps right next to me in my bed. We go on walks multiple times a week. I can't even, I have to constantly move around in the house because if I don't, then as soon as I sit down, lay down for a little bit, she'll like jump on me and sit there. And she's a really good dog. She's insane though. I love the dog. Um, but yeah, so yeah, she's first love. She's first love of the website of my coffee. It's like the introductory coffee, dark roast, and I have a lot of people that really love it. It's dark. It's not crazy dark. It's right at second crack happens. And I like to actually slow it down a little bit when I roast it. If you want to know more about my roasting style and philosophy, the way I do things, you can ask me, but more than likely, I don't think people will. Alif, Alif, stop. Calm down. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try this real quick. Come on. Come on, right here. Right here. Jump, 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 jump. Jump, 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 jump. But yeah, and as you keep going down the spectrum, it gets increasingly darker and bolder. And I would say interesting, especially with the contagious. But we're not really here to talk about my coffee. I mean, we are, but we're not. So, but I made this turkey roulage and it's almost finished. As the one of the next steps that I did with it yesterday, I wrapped it up and into stuffing my wife's recipe, cornbread and some celery and stop celery and onions. Cooked those down, made the cornbread, put that all together, cream of mushrooms, and yeah, it came out pretty good. And what else? So after I did that, I wrapped it up in parchment paper, tried to do as tightly as I could. And then I went ahead and put it in a sous vide bag and put it in there as tightly as possible. Vacuum sealed it. And then once that was done, um, I sous vide it for like 12 hours. I think I ended up sous vide it for like 12 hours and 40 minutes for 150 degrees. And now it's in the fridge resting. So the next step is going to be go, go, go. She's not happy with me, but she'll be fine. So I put it in the fridge to cool. It's technically done, but I'm sure it's more so like a soggy mess. So when it cools, I'll take it out, let it get a little hard. I'll go ahead and wrap it up with butcher's twine and then smoke it. Smoke it for like an hour or two. Let it rise back into temp and then have to figure out a way to broil it, the skin and all that stuff. But I'll do that relatively soon. May have that for dinner, whatnot. We shall see. But I think that'll be interesting to see how well I did. And I also have the other half. I already put that in freezer. Already sous vide and all that good stuff. So I can always take it out and do my thing with that when it comes to that. Mm. But yeah, I don't know why I keep bringing up cooking, but cooking is very rewarding, you know? It's almost like an instant gratification type of thing. You have a concept, you think about it, and you go about creating it. And I tend to use quite a bit of this stuff when I roast my coffee or think about coffee or my approach to coffee philosophy. I won't say that it's 100%, but it does help me in that process. And I hope that you have something like that that you do quite a bit and that you can relate other things to in order to make a product that's really cool, you know, that makes everything better, you know, so to speak. Like I'm really fascinated and concentrating on the degree of doneness and how that's different for everybody. And different meats call for different things. Like, for instance, a couple of days ago for Thanksgiving, I got some porter, or not, I got some, what did I get? Some, some rib roast. They're cheap. I mean, they're still expensive, but instead of $11.99 or $12.99 a pound, it was like $5.99 a pound or $6.99 a pound. So it's half the cost that they normally cost. And I would manage to make about 12 of them, cut them up and stuff. But I did have some that are already pre-cut, same price and everything. And I made those. And it's really interesting how you can play around with the degree of doneness and how nothing's as linear as it should be, right? Because what I mean by that is that you have a piece of meat that's raw, right? And a lot of times you try to play around with the Maillard reaction. So you're trying to sear, either first sear or reverse sear, that steak, that thing, you know, at a doneness that you're quite happy with, right? So when you do that, there's variables that you have to think about. Like, for instance, not everything is a temperature that you want it. It's at different time. It's at different places where you're doing your cooking. And that can also relate to the same thing with roasting. A lot of times you have that roaster, that heat coming from the bottom, and you can put more heat on it to transfer that heat into the beans, right? That sounds perfect, right? That sounds like a process that makes sense, right? But things are not really going on that way. Things happen at a different rate. So you try to control as many variables as you can to produce a great product. And in this case, I like to see what the doneness really is in that particular piece of meat in this case. And you're just playing with the doneness and the consistency of that product. And it goes with everything. And trying to, let's say, match or understand to get what you want out of it. And that's really the key to all of this. And that's the fun part, really trying to play around with that and seeing how it relates and seeing how it tastes. And it's something that I would say that I'm extremely curious about, interested about, and I hope to keep getting better with it, So that's why I bring up cooking quite a bit, because I do quite a bit of it. And the cool thing about roasting is that once you roast the beans, you can taste it and enjoy it, go on this journey and all that stuff, right? But you can do that also with cooking. And both of them can be a gratifying experience, even when it does suck. Because you're learning. That's where you really learn. So, at least me, that's how I learn. So yeah, this is more so like a ramble. Like I said, I do have topics that I'll start to write out and do my thing. But this week, what do I have going this week? More so the same. I'm going to get more stuff done for Amazon. I worked on some of that yesterday. I will tackle more of it tomorrow or today, and then see how that goes for the rest of the week. And then have fun with it, So I'm looking forward to that, and be posting more, or posting normally, but I think I figured out a good way to get these podcasts on the website. And I think what I'm going to do is use a blog setup and post each individual podcast that way, so it can have its own steam. Because what I like to do is have the podcast at top, and then a summary underneath that, and then a transcript, you know, of what I said, you know. So that's going to take some time to get going and stuff like that, give people the options and all that. So, yeah. So that's what we got going. We'll see how it moves and grooves and all that good stuff. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.